What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, Gervonta Tank Davis defeats Hector Luis Garcia last night by technical knockout. Ninth round stoppage. Look, y'all, this was a much more competitive fight than I expected. For sure, Hector Luis Garcia, man, watching him fight, he's a talented dude. Talented without question. The dude can punch. Like, for real, like skill. He's very, very skilled. He's a game fighter, without question. And he go try to sit down on them punches, too. And he made the fight, like, it was interesting. It was a very interesting fight. It was close. He had some very good moments, landed some. He was countering Tank very well at moments. I'm like, okay, I can see why Hector Luis Garcia, why he whooped Chris Colbert's ass. I can see that. I can really see that for sure. But again, I just think that Gervonta Tank Davis is a special fighter. He's not just a brute puncher. He's a guy who knows how to box. And I can see his ring IQ as the fight went on. See, a lot of guys who are brutes, like when I say brutes, guys who can knock dudes out. You have some of them who just try to lunge in and try to go for the kill immediately. Try to lunge in, get dudes up out of there real quick, go for the kill. And then they become susceptible to getting countered extreme, like in a vicious fashion, and get hurt, right? Or even get knocked down. Tank like, hold on, I'm gonna stay patient, I'm gonna land the shots I want to land, and I'm gonna break him down systematically, right? We're gonna break him down eventually. Tank was lead. When I was watching the fight, I'm like, okay, it's competitive, it's close, dude making it interesting. It was a very good fight. But I'm like, Tank landing them hooks, I say it's only so much he's gonna be able to take of that. Hector Luis Garcia is only so much he's going to be able to take from Tank. Tank hit like he got cinder blocks on his fist. And like eventually, it's going to wear him down. It's going to wear him down to where Tank going to be able to get his shit off after he gets him hurt with something. It's going to stop him or stop him in his tracks or just immobilize him to a certain degree. The same way Errol Spence Jr. was able to immobilize Yordenis Ugas, and Ugas stopped throwing that much because he was getting pummeled and just getting beat and battered. And I'm like, Tank finna batter him like that eventually. So them hooks kept coming. And at one point in the fight, it was the 8th round, Hector Luis Garcia, you saw those knees, those legs buckle. And I said, oh, shit. Oh, man. He didn't go down, but I promise y'all, had it been about 30 more seconds left in that round, 30, 40 more seconds maybe at most, Tank would have dropped him again. And it would have probably been, that would have been all she wrote in the 8th round, right? I have faith and believe in that. You know, I saw the maturation. I've been watching Tank's maturation as a fighter as time has gone on. Tank rolling with shots, rolling with punches. I'm like, okay, rolling with them. I said, that's really good. That is, I get great punch placement. Even Tank's ability to parry shots as well. Like, I'm very impressed with the brother. Now, some people are gonna be like, oh, it was way more competitive than it should be. I think dude just can fight. But at the end of the day, it was revealed to me. See, in boxing, man, I hate to say this because I'm not a fighter. So I'm not the guys in the ring taking the punishment. I don't know how they feel. But in boxing, some guys are front runners, right? Meaning they'll look good for a while, right? They'll be a game opponent. They'll have great moments. They'll land some good shots in. They'll make guys miss. They'll get some good counters in, so on and so forth. Make you say, okay. But the moment they get hit with some shit they don't like, it's over with. They fold. Again, they fold immediately and just send their bags packing. They go home packing. Pack it up, mail it in, ain't done. When they get hit with the wrong shot one time, they say, oh, hell no, I don't want no more of that. I don't want no more. And that's what Hector Luis Garcia said last night, no mas. It's a done deal. He was in the corner shaking his head, no, talking to him, saying he couldn't see. As soon as I heard him say he couldn't see, I said, they're going to stop the fight right there. He say he can't see. They're not going to argue with him. The corner, if it's a good corner, they're going to just, okay, it's obvious that either his guy really can't see or his guy just doesn't want to go back out there. No. Hey, okay, we can't make you fight. So it is what it is. But I will say this about the sport of boxing, even though I'm not a fighter. From me watching a sport, boxing is about overcoming adversity at times. You're going to hit with some shit that can shock you, or they can be stunning. They can make you like, oh my God, right? The same way Floyd Mayweather got cracked against Sugar Shane Mosley twice, right? The same way I saw Andre Ward get dropped against Kovalev and then come back up and come back up and keep fighting and deliver a solid performance throughout that fight. After Floyd Mayweather was nearly dropped against Sugar Shane Mosley, he came on and was beautiful after that. Came on, showed that he can rise above any adversity and put on a boxing clinic after that. So yeah, I don't know. He could have been very, very hurt. Or I just think that after he took that punch, he said, shit, it's only so much more of that I could take, because he was already taking some of Tank's best shots. And I said, he taking that shit right now. But I knew in that 9th round, Tank was getting ready to fuck him up. Like, I could see it. I said, oh, look how he responded in the 8th round. It's only a matter of time before Tank hit him with some shit. He started getting woozy, all out of balance, and get dropped a few more times. So maybe it was for his benefit that the fight that, he didn't come back out there or whatever. I'm just used to watching certain type of guys who, even after they get hit, still try to go in there and still try to go in there and give it their all and mix it up. Well, it wouldn't have been smart for him to try to mix it up. Like, still just keep your distance and fight at range. Use your range, use your height over Tank Davis, which is what he was doing, using his range and all that. And guys that size are rangy guys, and Tank is gonna, because he's so short. Normally, when Tank is fighting against taller guys, he has to figure out his way inside, because his reach is the other guys, the taller guy is gonna have the reach advantage over Tank. So he has to figure out a good way to get inside and get his shit off, the same way he did against Mario Barrios, right? So yeah, and eventually Tank is gonna get in there and he's gonna land his shots. He can take some shots to land some. That's important about Tank. Tank, he has a good beard on him, a good chin. You know what I mean? He can take some shots to land the shit he wants to land. And when he lands, you're going to feel that impact, and that's what happened with Hector Luis Garcia. Hector Luis Garcia got hit so hard, he's saying he can't see. He said he really don't know where he really was at for a while. He's still trying to get himself together. His head is still hurting and ringing after the fight. He said his shit was ringing. Ring, ding, dong. Ring, a ding, 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 dong. Keep the heads ringing. All right, shout out to Dr. Dre. But nonetheless, man, still solid, very, very solid performance from Tank Davis, man. I think people are used to Tank just knocking dudes out, that when guys have good rounds and good moments, people are just so shocked and say, oh my God, he did it great, great, great. I just think Tank was just boxing, man. Because even the last fight he had, Rolando Romero, Rolly had some good moments, did some very good things, did some things well. But Tank was being patient, waiting to counter him. Same way he was doing with Hector Luis Garcia last night. And it worked. And he got the stoppage. Tank is a beast. He's a dog. Up next is supposed to be Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. I have that fight going in Gervonta Tank Davis's favor. For sure. I think that it'll be a difficult fight for Tank. Tank's most difficult fight. Ryan Garcia is taller. He has faster hands. He's a bigger guy. So I think it'll cause Tank some problems initially. But just like any other fight when he has problems, Tank's going to figure that out. And he's going to get his shit off. He's going to take some, but he's going to land some. And I just think Tank has weapons of mass destruction on his fist, cinder blocks. And I think his punches are so powerful, they're capable of breaking everybody down at 135. I think he can crack and hurt everybody at 135. Now, some guys are going to be harder to hit. Shakur Stevenson's going to move up from 130 to 135. He's going to be harder to hit. Devin Haney's going to be harder to hit. But I think eventually he's going to hit. And when he hits, he's going to take some shit. He's going to have to deal with his own set of adversity as well. But I just think that Tank shit is just so lethal. He's going to be able to hurt you. He's going to hurt Ryan, I think. And I think Ryan's going to look good for some great early rounds and stuff. He's going to look good. But I think Tank is just going to overwhelm him. And at some point, Ryan's not going to be able to take that shit. I say that because, and again, I know Ryan was young when it happened, a little younger. Luke Campbell drops you, I can guarantee you Gervonta Tank Davis is going to drop him with an uppercut or a hook. A hook. Right hook, left hook, uppercut. Yeah. And it'll come at a time when Ryan Garcia is trying to get his shit off too. You feel me? And that's the ones you don't see are the ones that hurt the most. For sure. Now also, it was a spectacle that happened in the crowd last night. Gary Russell Jr. and his brothers getting into it with Meek Mill in the chase. Excuse me, I'm out of godly. Getting into it with Meek Mill and the Chasers last night. And I'm looking at this shit in the crowd. I'm like, black folks gotta cut that shit out. For they not allow DC to get no more fights. For they say, oh, hell no, we ain't going back to Chocolate City no more. We ain't doing it. Chocolate City too damn wild. I don't know. But Meek gets on Twitter and he apologizes. I'm seeing Wallow. I see the W on the head. I'm like, is that damn Wallow in the crowd trying to... But they said Wallow, I'm looking at it, Wallow being peacemaker, trying to calm everything down. And shout out to Wallow. Black men, every black man needs a brother like Wallow in his corner to stop him from doing some dumb shit, from falling into some bullshit and BS. Every brother needs a guy like Wallow in their corner. But Meek gets on Twitter, basically was saying, he was drinking. He said, he basically congrats to Tank. He apologized for it, like, it was a little too crazy. He said, I almost fought a boxer last night. I'm looking like, brother, you almost fought a boxer. And I'm telling you, that would have been the day you would have really been seeing dreams and nightmares, brother. You would have really been seeing dreams and nightmares or seeing stars like you sitting inside of your Wraith. For real. So I'm glad he did. Now, again, they was like 30 deep, so they probably would have tried to jump Gary Russell Jr. and his brothers or whatever. But Gary Russell Jr. and all his brothers fight. So if they would have had it, they would have got it. They would have got to a few of the chasers. Got to a few of the chasers in good fashion before being overtaken. But I'm glad that it didn't escalate to no violence. I really am. We don't need no shit like that happening and Tank the fight and, take away from the moment. And we don't need, in black cities, we don't need bullshit popping off in the crowd because as a black fight fan, I want the fights to come to some black cities. So now come to Chicago, my hometown. I can come out and come see if I ain't got no money to travel, right? Or, come to DC. Come to somewhere in Michigan. Come to Atlanta, Georgia, right? Come to Atlanta. And, if bullshit is happening at black cities in these venues, it might try to discourage free people from coming, so we don't need that, right? But I was just like, wow, look at them in the audience. I'm looking at Meek Mill, and Meek say it started because, basically Meek was he was saying the fight ain't going this fight ain't going 12 rounds. This fight ending early. It's ending early. He was cheering on Tank, and I don't know if he was having a conversation with Gary Russell in the first place, or Gary heard Meek basically bigging up Tank, and Gary like, hey man, Shawty ain't that what you think he is. Shawty ain't that good. Shawty gonna struggle. You know how Gary talk. Shawty gonna struggle. I told Floyd Leonard, Shawty gonna struggle. You know how Gary be talking, man. I don't know if he said some shit like that to Meek, and Meek was like, no, he about to get this win. And you know how dudes be. Gary don't like Tank. He been waiting to fight Tank, talking about he gonna do this and do that to Tank in the first place. So he trying to show another dude that fuck with Tank, your mans ain't shit. He ain't shit and he ain't on shit. And he ain't gonna be this and he ain't this and he ain't that. And Meek being Tank's man saying, no, my man's is solid. My man's a fuck dude up. Fuck is you talking about? They probably was one of them type of shouting matches. Fuck is you talking about? I don't know if Philly and DC dudes already might have some tension because Gary from DC and Meek is from Philly. I don't know. But I'm just glad cooler heads prevailed. Well, Meek and them left. I'm like, yeah, you better leave, brother, so you don't go to jail and get in trouble. So it's good that he left. Nonetheless, congratulations to Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank put on a great show, an exceptional showing. Up next, Ryan Garcia.